Writing is challenging, and I doubt it when people say it's a piece of cake. No, it's not, particularly when I grabbed my pencil and started to write for the first time. I remember that sense of frustration so vividly, and sadly, it still stuck to my head for no reason, except for one that reminds me of how painful all the writing journey has been. I still struggle to write from time to time, but I know the meat of the matter is to keep going with proper methods and a great deal of patience involved. It is not rocket science, though. We will know when we get there, goes the saying. For both students and professionals, clear communication is important. Whether you're typing an email or writing a report, it is your responsibility to present your thoughts and ideas clearly and precisely. Writing in complete sentences is one way to ensure that you communicate well. Now, don't sweat, I'm quite proud of myself as I take things in my stride when realizing my sentences crumble and look at a messy on the paper sometimes, and I think that's part of the fun we can derive from this highly demanding skill. I am Leah Normandes, and you're watching the Slide series. Stay with me. Today, our topic is about writing, a skill that takes some doing to master. For the most part, the goal of writing is to convey our thoughts and ideas and convince the reader to accept that our points are valid. We start with the first fundamental but promising step, sentence writing. Clearly written, complete sentences require key information, a subject, a verb, and a complete idea. A sentence needs to make sense on its own. Sometimes complete sentences are also called independent clauses. A clause is a group of words that may make up a sentence. An independent clause is a group of words that may stand alone as a complete, grammatically correct thought. Here are some examples of independent clauses. I went to the market yesterday. They love to drink tea in the afternoon. A lot of people hold him in high esteem. Or, you're watching the Slide series. So the question that may crop up in your head is, why do we have to start right here? Why not jump into writing a whole paragraph or an essay? Well, the answer may lie in the fact that a paragraph is composed of sentences, and an essay is made up of several or many paragraphs. So you see, sentences are the basic unit of a paragraph and a whole essay. If we cannot write sentences properly, we cannot write the other two properly. So what are we going to do now? This episode is indeed much more of a practice session than a theoretical lesson. Do these steps with me. 1. Take some words you have recently learned. This is one phrase I've just learned. Being in the dark about something means to be unaware of something or be not informed about something. Then number 2, ask yourself this question. What role does that word or that phrase play in a sentence? A noun? A verb? An adverb? Or something else? I'm asking you about grammar. Yes, grammar matters a lot in writing, so pay heed to it. You will fail miserably if you don't take grammar seriously in writing. Punctuation does matter as well, and there are tons of other things that matter in writing, but stop digging too deep into that. 3. Ask yourself, is it formal or informal or just neutral? I'm asking you about register. Register often refers to the degree of formality of language. Some words are used in formal writing and some words aren't, because they may sound rude and thus inappropriate. Basically speaking, in formal writing like the IELTS writing tasks, you have to use formal language. Any slang or similarly rude words are not allowed. Blog posts can be a good example for informal writing. Most blog readers are used to an informal, friendly, conversational style. If you run a corporate blog, however, it may be appropriate to write in a slightly formal register. So the question here is, how can we know if a word is formal or informal? Well, we have a powerful tool at our fingertips, dictionaries. Every decent dictionary certainly helps you know the register of any word you're studying. So in order to write proficiently, we have to equip ourselves with a comprehensive understanding of the words we want to make sentences with. And I have already discussed this in the first episode, so take a look at it. Number 4, think about the topic and what you want to write about with the phrase in hand. In my case, the idiom being in the dark about something can be connected to many situations in life. especially about things I have no idea about, like why do my neighbors just keep screaming at night every so often? Why do my pens sometimes just vanish off the face of the earth? Why did my mother love my father in the first place? Well, there's no reason for this for sure. Number 5. Write. Now start off with familiar topics that are relevant to you. Here are my own sentences. 1. My secondary school friends would keep me in the dark about their overnight parties. Number 2. My mother was totally in the dark about my sister's first dates. Number 6. Check your sentence. Your sentence must be grammatically correct in order to be more elaborate. Now number 7. Elaborate your sentences. Take your sentences to the next level. Now this is when you have to comprehend some essential grammatical points in order to produce high-level sentence structures like complex, compound sentences, or relative clauses, etc. Constantly upgrading our simple sentences can greatly enhance our sentence writing skills. This would lay a solid foundation for your paragraph writing skills down the line, because a good paragraph should encompass simple and compound or complex sentences, alternating each other to make it diverse and less monotonous. Now let's get back to my sentence. This is a simple sentence because it only contains one clause. My secondary school friends would keep me in the dark about their overnight parties. Here's how I change it. Do you recognize the added parts? A bit of imagination can help here, and I'm quite a daydreamer, so there's no heavy lifting around here. I'm kidding, never mind. This is freestyle writing, which means we can write anything we want, regardless of the topic. So what if I have to write about one particular topic, for example, the environment, because I want to prepare for my upcoming exam? Then I have to narrow down my focus and ask myself, what is the environment connected with? Water, air, natural resources, government and the public, campaigns, policies, and so on. And think about which subject will be suitable to be with the idiom be in the dark about something. If you have no idea, the odds are that you do not listen or read enough English. If you want to achieve your proficiency in writing, you have to read a lot. And take note what is important to you. That's the point. There's no other way around. Reading is a meaningful learning activity, at least to my point of view. However, I will talk about reading in another episode. I usually read scientific articles of all sorts of topics, like psychology, environment, economics, politics, health, medicine, education, etc., to enrich my knowledge of these fields and, of course, to strengthen my writing and speaking skills at the same time. Here are some dependable sources that you can take advantage of. National Geographic, The Economist, The New York Times, The Washington Post, The Guardian. So here's my sentence about the topic environment. Many teenagers are still in the dark about environmental regulation that has long come into force, which means environmental education should be integrated into the school curriculum so as to raise the awareness of this important issue. Or, many residents publicly voice their opinions about the need to protect the local ecosystem, and this can educate those in the dark about how devastating the effects of our industrial activities are to the regional species. Notice that both sentences have the language of cause and effects. I would highly recommend using this kind of language to elaborate your sentence. A vast majority of us have had a tendency to pay attention to the causes and effects of our actions since time immemorial, and I think that is one of the reasons why we have survived several disastrous events. So learning to link several clauses in your sentence in this way can considerably help enhance your writing skills, but do not overuse it. Do not write an overly long or ponderous sentence, as this can affect the reader's ability to understand or follow your idea. Now it's time to practice. Pick some high-level phrases or idioms and follow these steps as much as you can. Write several sentences with them in the comment section, and we will have a look at them for you and give you the feedback. Now maintain this writing habit until you feel prepared for a more advanced writing technique, paragraph writing. And that's the end of First Slides About Writing, a chapter that has no end. In our next episode, we will learn about paragraph writing, which calls for more significant and advanced techniques. If you want to support us, please hit the like button and share our video. I'm Leah Normandes. Thanks for watching and see you next time.